It's Malcolm MacPherson in Kingston, Ontario, and it's the end of November 2021. We're finishing up season 1 today by talking about occupation, and we've covered a number of other topics, mostly relating to negative symptoms of schizophrenia and how to positively move forward with those. But today we're going to talk about occupation. And for me, I like using the occupational therapy definition of occupation, which is that it can be hobbies or activities, it can be education, or it could be volunteer work, or it could be paid work. So all of those different components of occupation in any combination can lead to well-being for an individual. So with that in mind, I'd like to just briefly talk about my education, which I've talked about before. And I've always had a learning attitude. I've always liked to learn, and I've been inquisitive, and I've liked to explore and make discoveries. And I've had that attitude when I've been working, or if I have a hobby, or just an activity such as making something. For me, discovering my signature strengths was really important, and Ryan Nemec and Martin Seligman were the people who invented that inventory, the VIA Signature Strengths Inventory. Now with me, when I've had occupations and jobs, if I knew I was deficient in a particular signature strength, then I would work at improving that and learning, so that when I encountered that skill again, I would be more proficient at it. So my actual signature strengths I've mentioned in previous videos: spirituality, inquisitiveness, perspective, creativity, and hope and zest. And I scored 4.75 out of 5 on those, which makes them my best signature strength. And work, for me to be successful, would best be aligned with those strengths. But having said that, I also worked on other strengths that were weak in the many years that I've had experience working. It's notable that I scored 4.0 on all the remaining signature strengths, so actually my skills are quite balanced. Now I'll just talk about places that I've worked, and I've worked at the New Brunswick Community College in St. John, New Brunswick, as a community college instructor, and also as a workplace facilitator. I worked at George Brown College of Applied Technologies in Toronto, and I worked for CODE, which was a non-government organization sending educational materials to third world countries. And I guess that and the community college job were my favorite jobs or careers. And yeah, the code job, there was 3 of us who made up the leadership team for the book program, and we sent and cataloged our books to East Africa, West Africa, and the Caribbean. And the friends that I made there have become lifelong friends, so there was a sort of relaxed and creative mode to working there. I think with work, it's very important that we treat ourselves kindly and that we have some self-compassion for ourselves. It's quite notable today that employers expect you to multitask and do more and do more and do more. And for my own judgment, that's really not healthy. And I've just learned by studying self-compassion that time blocking and micro-timing seems to work much better for one's well-being. And time blocking is just maybe setting aside 30 minutes or 45 minutes to work on something without being distracted by technology or the telephone or anything else, and you can get a lot done. Now, microtasking is that if you have a list of 3 or 4 things to do, and choosing 1 or 2 of them would be good, and when you're in that area again in your travels, do another 1 or 2. They could be prioritized and not needed to all be done at once to add stress to your life. And one of the videos that I saw suggested by Dr. Micah of Germany that it's best to stop before you get tired. If you realize you're getting tired with a list of activities, then stop half an hour or 45 minutes before you're burned out, because if you go too far, it'll take you several days to recover. Whereas if you, and this is my experience, if you stop early, then that's a good thing, and you'll have a good sleep, and you'll just be up at a normal time and get on with your day the next day instead of being burnt out. I think workplace health, mental health especially, is very important, and the environment that you work in is very important. And I'm talking about the people environment, not so much the physical environment, although you need good air quality. A toxic mental health environment is very difficult at work, and very stressful, and especially when you have time deadlines and pressure to get things done. So managing all this is important. Certainly assertiveness helps, and working through channels to mitigate the situation, and even maybe filing a grievance, or even talking to the people that you're having difficulty with and trying to find common ground. The other thing that helps with work is humanity and technology studies, and realizing that technology is everywhere today, but using it in a way that enhances one's psychological well-being is really optimum. So these are all my experiences with work, and yeah, my general education has helped, and like I said, I've been self-directed and experiential, and I do have hobbies and activities, but I think I'll cut that short for today. You've seen some of the hobbies, like our camping and gardening and things like that. So I think I'm fairly diverse and well-rounded as far as spending my time, and that kind of concludes the section that I wanted to discuss on occupation. And I once again use the broad definition of occupation that occupational therapists use. So this wraps up the first season of this series of videos. I believe this is video number 5, and I've introduced myself as a personality, and we've talked a lot about negative symptoms of schizophrenia and how to manage them, and ways of coping if you're not feeling so well. We've gone to markets, we've visited areas in the community, and we've even been on vacation, but it was a budget, low-cost vacation, and both myself and my friend who went with me, we had a great time and were relaxed. So generally we try to be open-minded and creative when we're on a road trip or exploring. And I'm in the children's playground today because I think activity and occupation should be fun. So that's kind of the metaphor that I want to leave you with. And we'll start season number 2 as I am able to prepare new videos. So be kind to yourself, have gratitude for what you do have, and look on the bright side of things, and hopefully the sun shines in your life even if it's cloudy that day.